my name's Sara Ahmadi and I am the CEO of a retail startup called Shopest. What we do is we work with independent retailers primarily, physical retailers, that's critical, and we make their inventory searchable and shoppable nearby.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And what was the biggest challenge you faced when starting your business?
The biggest challenge really, at the time when I came up with the concept, it was through a problem that I had when I was working as a designer in New York, and it was actually not coming from a technology background. Although I have always been into technology, I didn't study it as a degree. I did fashion and then I did an MBA in marketing, so it really wasn't my strong point, and it was just how to start.
Mm-hmm. And how did you manage to crack that?
Okay, so in the garment district in New York, a lot of the factories have actually turned into tech, I don't know, like startup office spaces. So the machines have come out and other machines have come in. So next door to me was a company called AppBoy. So I'd go in, speak to the developers and the programmers and ask them lots of different questions on how to do it. Then I kind of blagged my way into WeWork Labs in New York and just kind of sat around with all these people and they explained to me about, MVPs, wireframes, and then I kind of sat there and just designed the wireframes and got a little MVP made. So that's how it sort of started off.
Okay, great. So you're talking about inclusivity and diversity in the industry. What do you think we can do to make sure the tech industry is more diverse?
I believe it should be from the ground up, but it also should be in re-education. Now, a lot of jobs are going away. I'm from the north of England, and there, obviously since the 80s, there's been a real gap of manufacturing jobs. So it's already in these areas, sorry, a bit tongue-tied, that people can be retrained. Not everyone necessarily is going to be an expert in machine learning or artificial intelligence, but there are a lot of different skills that people can learn that could include them into the digital economy. So we should be looking at things like that as well. And so it seems that it's very much more inclusive. I know that in Salford, for example, like digital literacy is in the top 10 worst of the country. So it's a case of going in and really helping communities, especially poor, working class and underrepresented communities, be part of it, rather than simply looking at a male-female divide and just looking at schools.
Okay,
yeah,
great. What do you think CEOs can do differently?
I would say startup CEOs, for sure. When companies are very small, people usually bring their friends and family or people that they know on. It's really from the inception of a concept, really looking at who this product's for and trying to bring people in. As companies grow, actually look at people who underrepresented people as a really benefit to the team, not something that they need to do so it looks nice in a brochure. And it doesn't really help anybody by employing the wrong people for jobs. It really just doesn't. And as companies grow, again, more education, looking at more, I wouldn't say less traditional routes to that position. So that may be, for example, I know a lady who does the bricks and finishing school, which is all about digital jobs to be filled from underrepresented, communities, and really look not just at graduate week or graduate fairs, but look at where they could possibly go in, have more interns, sponsor places at schools where people can learn to code and they can go in and be part of, be an apprentice basically. That's a bit of waffle, but
No, there's some gold in there. So we started off as like a blockchain media company, right? Do you have any thoughts on what the future of blockchain may hold in the next few years?
So I have my thoughts on blockchain when it comes definitely to the fashion industry. The fashion industry has a very big problem with sustainability, and the sheer number of the sheer amount of fast fashion that ends up in landfills. And it's not really accounted for from different companies. I believe that blockchain can have a big impact in that, especially because they can't deny that they're their products. So, or if you look at, for example, in France, the sheer amount of products that they burn every year. But again, that's not directly to do with blockchain, but the accountability throughout the platform. And when it comes to sustainability and more people are choosing sustainable goods, that goes hand in hand with blockchain, doesn't it? And as end users, we'll get more and more familiar with how we can check the products. I was at VivaTech, was it 2-3 weeks ago now, and even LVHM, and the way that they're using RFID tags so you can communicate with bags, that will be more prominent in luxury for knowing exactly where the different parts of the chain are, and there's no reason why that can't seep down into fast fashion, or hopefully we don't have that much fast fashion in the future, more slow fashion. And that's where I see blockchain, and obviously in food, because I worry a lot about where my food comes from. I say that, but I'll still eat really dirty food and go to get falafel on the street. But I do worry a lot, and medicine. So they're the 3 big areas I'd like to see blockchain have a big involvement in. All.io.